It is a good morning, so today was a quick one, and let's get right into what I did. So first of all, 15-minute analysis. We have this fair value gap. Let me remove this for a sec. I'll pull it back up later. We have this fair value gap here, which was holding right at 930, and we had this low, which I was targeting. This was my first target, but it has already been hit. So let's see what happened. We go down to the 5 minute. So this fair value gap on the 15 was being held, and another one formed on the 5 minute right here. Bodies closed below it at 930. And then we go straight to the 1 minute chart. So this is the same 5 minute fair value gap. It also aligns with a 1 minute fair value gap, and all the bodies were closing nicely underneath it. So I was bearish, and this was my target. So let's see the trades that I took and what happened. So it was quite a frustrating morning, and I feel like my trades were not bad. My emotion management and trade management was good, and I think it was a little bit unfortunate, but this is part of the game, and honestly, a win is a win. So let's see what happened. So I took $100 stop right here. So when was this? This was at 934. So the 1 minute chart looked like this, right? 34. So this fair value gap, bullish fair value gap, BISI, formed at 931. And I was bearish since this 15-minute and 5 minute fair value gaps were holding. Price was underneath it, and I was targeting this low. So as soon as it went up here and then it came back and closed underneath here, I was ready to short it. So that's exactly what I did when it went down like this, and it closed under the BISI. It came back up, filled this, left this open because this was where price spent a lot of time. So it came back here and filled this. Then it formed another fair value gap and SIBI. So there were equal lows here, which, it's not the best entry, but sometimes when a fair value gap forms right above equal lows like this and they haven't been tapped yet, then it runs right through them and smashes them completely. And it would just run for this low like really quickly. So I was short in this fair value gap before these lows were hit. So I was short right here, and then on the very next candle, these lows were swiped. So I was not able to move my stop to break even that quickly. Potentially I should have, but it's okay. Our risk is tight. We took a stop. It's part of the game. It's okay. And yeah, so this one did not play out, but that's okay. So then the lows got hit. It went down one more time, but it did ultimately run up here one more time. So it ran up here, rebalanced all of this fair value gap, created another balanced price range, and created another fair value gap right here. I'm still bearish because these lows barely got tapped, and then it ran up to trap people long, and then it came back down and I was ready to short it again. So here we took $100 stop, here we took another $100 stop. So this one barely got topped out, and then it went further down. Yeah, this still hadn't been filled, and I was expecting it to go lower. So then it formed another fair value gap, and that I was short in this as well, and we took another stop. So at this point, I decided to chill out a little bit. We have taken 3 stops on the same trade idea, and clearly price is not ready to go yet. So it ran up all the way back up. So it's a good thing that I kept my stops really tight because I'm not about to be 20 points in drawdown. So I wait for it, and finally it breaks down as I expect it to. But there's no entry for me here because if I enter here at this fair value gap, my stop would have to be up here. So this is too much risk for me. And as I said, I'm not going to trade micros. So we wait patiently. It comes, breaks this low. But that's wait, what price is it? 64? 64. Yeah, that's this low, and it's not the final target I was looking for. So it breaks this low, but there's a fair value gap, displacement, SIBI. So it crawls its way all the way back up here. I'm waiting, I'm watching it this whole time, and it fills this completely. Then it makes another bearish fair value gap, and I'm short in this as well. So this one, finally, we managed to catch the move. So sometimes right at 9:30 it moves really fast, so that's what it did. It actually went down and then it went up, and then, so I'm not about to trade 9:30, but I was expecting once it came back up here and started showing signs of heaviness, for it to run pretty quickly, but it chopped around a little bit in here, and I got stopped out a few times, and that's completely fine. And we did manage to make our money back and even squeak a profit. So we sold this fair value gap, and right here at 50 was my take profit, right here at 50, underneath this low. So that was one contract right there. And the second contract, I was short in this fair value gap. I guess we got slipped a little bit. But I was short in this fair value gap, and I added a second contract. My stop was up here above this fair value gap, above the initial fair value gap. And then, yeah, so we held this all the way to down here, and we were looking for if it wanted to continue. So I'm not expecting it to continue down because there's FOMC later today, and I think that FOMC is going to want to take these highs and then continue lower. But there is a low down here, and I just graded the difference. So in case it wanted to keep going, I was going to keep taking partials, or I was going to trail this and take it off at some point, but it didn't continue lower. So we basically got the absolute low as of right now. And yeah, the second contract got stopped out in profit. So we did manage to make a nice little profit of 200, but now that the target has been met, there's nothing for me to do anymore this AM session, and I have things to attend to in the PM, so that's going to be it for today. And yeah, thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, you already know. I think I've not been saying that in the previous videos. Yeah, hopefully you guys found this one interesting. Not the worst day, not the best day. I think my trading was good, and the market, you know, is a little bit choppy. But yeah, today, when I looked at Forex Factory, I just saw FOMC, and I was like, okay, if the AM doesn't give me anything, I'm not gonna touch it. But it did keep showing signs of bearishness, holding these bearish fair value gaps and stuff. Yesterday, when it closed, I already knew it was about to go down overnight, because where did it close? Yeah, over here. So it cleared these highs and held this fair value gap, and it made a fair value gap on the 5-minute basically immediately. So I kind of expected to not have a trade today because I thought that this low would be taken overnight, but thankfully it wasn't. So we managed to catch the last little portion of this move, and even though we took some stops, we managed to make it all back. So that is a win in my books, and that equity is slowly grinding up. So yeah, see you guys soon.